Morning, I'm Deirdre Fitzpatrick.
And I'm Teo Torres. Let's get right to meteorologist Tamara Berg to help us plan our day, and this day being the first day of summer, Tam.
You guys ready for it? 14 hours and 52 minutes of daylight is what we get to enjoy, and there's that sunrise taking shape right now over Sacramento from the downtown Skycam, looking at that view as it's coming up through the city skyline. Now in Sacramento, it's comfortable. This is a great time of day to get outside, get that workout started. We're in the lower 50s with bright sunshine and a light wind. In fact, it's gone to calm at the top of the 6 o'clock hour. By noontime, we're looking at temperatures in the upper 70s. Daytime highs come up today, but we're still going to be looking at a range of lower to mid 80s for the most part around much of the Sacramento Valley floor. Satellite loop looking at the marine there along the coast, and that's pretty much the only significant thing to kind of point out for the morning. And in fact, it's not terribly thick. There's a few patches here and there along the immediate coast. You look across the valley floor, spots like Fairfield into Sacramento, up the hill into Placerville and Auburn, and our skies, well, they're crystal clear. Today for Placerville, expect we will have bright sunshine as it's coming up right now. We have light winds out of the southwest, and temperatures today also running a bit warmer in the foothills. We'll get into about the mid to upper 70s right between about 3 and 5 o'clock later today. Coming up in my full forecast, I'll take you through what's ahead with some minor changes to the weather through the weekend. It's 6:02. Brian's tracking what to expect on those roadways, and visor down, as you said earlier, Brian.
Yeah, just enjoying that nice sunrise out there as you're making your way out onto the causeway. You'll be running from the sun, but no delays there. We got a few spider webs on there getting lit up by the sunrise this morning as you are heading in that eastbound direction. Definitely want to have that visor or some sunglasses as you make your way through the split here on Interstate 80. No problems to report along this stretch, and 80 across the top and down through the Cap City Freeway, all looking good. Highway 50, no issues right now. Just a little slowing northbound 99 as you make your way into the Fix 50 project there. Through 12th Avenue, though, still running at the limits. Once you get a little bit closer to 4th Avenue, that's where you'll start to run into those slowdowns on Highway 99. But otherwise, no delays on either route, 5 or 99, coming up to the north as you make your way into Sacramento from Elk Grove. I-5 northbound at Highway 12 had a big rig and a pickup truck involved in a crash there. It's over to the right-hand shoulder, but still seeing a little bit of slowing behind that just as you're approaching Highway 12 on the northbound side of I-5. 99, no issue through Stockton along the Crosstown Freeway, and Highway 4 all looking good. 205, a 28-minute ride across the Tracy Triangle. Westbound 580 over the pass, 25 minutes there. And again here in Sacramento, 50, 85, and 99 all running at the speed limit. Dale?
All right, thank you so much. Well, a Sacramento County road has reopened this morning following a deadly head-on crash that had closed it for several hours overnight. Happened around 9 p.m. last night on Dillard Road east of Highway 99 and left 2 people dead and a young child with major injuries. Highway Patrol says a man was driving in the wrong lane when he slammed into a car driven by a mother carrying her young child. Officers say she tried swerving out of the way, but they met head-on. Both drivers died. The child was rushed to the hospital. Highway Patrol says it's still too early to determine if drugs or alcohol played a role.
Stanislaus County Sheriff's Office is releasing some dramatic video and a 911 call from a domestic kidnapping happened Sunday in Turlock. The call came from the victim's 12-year-old son.
There's a guy he's the father of my little brother, and he's trying to kill my mom. He has a gun.
Deputies also released video from their helicopter showing the suspect and the victim on a blocked road. There was a chase with deputies, and then the suspect reached Hills Ferry Bridge, which was blocked because of construction. Deputies say that suspect placed the victim between himself and authorities, and then you see the woman walk to the deputies once they get there, and the suspect gives himself up.
Are you okay? Are you hurt anywhere? Let's go on the other side. Señor, levántate, con sus manos arriba.
Deputies say before this, the suspect forced himself into the victim's home, pistol whipped a child, and then dragged that woman out. The child and the woman are expected to recover.
Well, this morning, Sacramento police detectives are still trying to figure out what triggered a deadly shooting about 24 hours ago. And now we are learning that one of the people killed was a wheelchair-bound man who was well-liked in his neighborhood. Happened before 6 yesterday morning near Kelton and Main Avenues. The neighbors heard gunshots and called police. One man was found dead near an abandoned SUV. Another was found near the scene and taken to the hospital but did not survive.
It was really sad because we were neighbors for 9 years now. That guy was a really nice guy.
2 young daughters. It's scary to think that something like that would happen, and who knows how far into the neighborhood something like that might occur.
Sacramento police say this was an isolated incident and there is no ongoing public threat, but they're asking for anyone with information to please come forward.
Happening today, a well-known stretch of highway is going to be officially dedicated in honor of the Stockton police officer Jimmy Inn, more than 2 years after he was killed in the line of duty. Inn was shot and killed while he was responding to a domestic disturbance call in May of 2021, and he had been with the department since 2015. The Crosstown Freeway is that stretch of Highway 4 that goes between I-5 and Highway 99. It will officially become the Officer Jimmy Artie Inn Memorial Highway. The dedication ceremony is at 8:30 at the San Joaquin County Fallen Officer Memorial.
Also happening today, an effort to reduce fire danger in the Sierra. However, it's happening in a place where residents are coping with the trauma of an already devastating wildfire.
KCRA3's Melanie Wingo is live in Garden Valley this morning with the advice to help people deal with what could be a little traumatic for them today.
That's right. We're in a part of El Dorado County called the Divide, and this is an area that saw some pretty frightening weeks last summer during the Mosquito Fire, and they've also had other wildfires over the years affect this part of El Dorado County. So in order to help out and reduce that fire risk, CAL FIRE is going to be conducting a prescribed burn in this area today. It's part of their Vegetation Management Project, or VMP, and the plan is to burn 140 acres of open grassland. That helps take out some of the fuels that have grown over the past several months, and it also gives firefighters the chance to train with active flames and in an active fire setting. But for people who went through the Mosquito Fire and other large fire events that have happened in El Dorado County, experts say seeing smoke and flames may bring up some complex feelings.
To stay in the present and to be calm and to do things that are going to be healthy for you, to keep you safe mentally and emotionally and physically. It is normal to feel that. So not to suppress it or try to push it away. But if you're feeling something like that, we really want you to be able to get help so that you can stay safe and be there for your family and friends and community.
And a couple ways to deal with any anxiety that may arise, according to experts. Think about your family's plan in case of emergency. Make sure your home is prepared as well. That gives you back the control, they say. And also, CAL FIRE hopes that people within this community remember that these types of burns, the prescribed burns, are designed to help reduce fire risk. And they're hoping that gives people living in this community a sense of peace, knowing that all is being done to try to make sure that if a wildfire does hit the community, they are doing their part to reduce the fire risk. Reporting live in Garden Valley this morning, Melanie Wingo, KCRA 3 News.
All right, Melanie, thank you. That prescribed burn is set to happen today between 8 a.m. Running through 5 p.m. CAL FIRE says smoke may be seen in the communities of Coloma, Lotus, Cool, Garden Valley, Greenwood, and Georgetown.
So now let's go to a story that has really captivated the world, and it is that frantic race trying to find that submarine that was exploring Titanic's remains in the North Atlantic.
Overnight, there were reports that some kind of noises may have been detected. Let's go to Mike Cherry in studio with more on what that could mean.
Yeah, so the Coast Guard, Navy, and crews from Canada and other countries have all raced in to help find and recover the submersible watercraft. They're going right here to the cold waters just off the North Atlantic coast of Newfoundland, to the site where the Titanic sits on the ocean floor. And as of right now, they have about just 24 hours left of air. And according to the U.S. Coast Guard, underwater noises were detected in the area of the search. This video right here is from the Coast Guard of their Search Operations Center. Now, in a tweet this morning, the Coast Guard said the noises that were picked up by a Canadian P-3 aircraft, and as a result, underwater operations were relocated to try to locate the origin, but they did not say what those noises were. Now, Tom Casella is covering this for the Today Show.
Good morning from Boston Coast Guard Command, where we think we are about 24 hours away now from the people inside that mini sub, from them running out of air. and it is a very urgent search on the water, above the water, looking for the sub with 5 people on board. On the water, the Canadian Coast Guard is on scene now with several ships. In the air, Canadian and U.S. C-130 Hercules aircraft running a grid pattern over the water, looking for any signs of whether the sub might have come up and is bobbing in the water. So far, no signs of that. Meanwhile, the U.S. Air Force has sent C-17s to Buffalo, picked up critical salvage equipment, and it is now rushing that to St. John, Newfoundland, to the staging base in Canada. If they can use that salvage equipment out on site, it would be to lift the mini sub out of the water if they find it. They haven't found it yet, and that's the problem. This is a vast, expansive ocean the size of Connecticut, as they are looking for a needle in a haystack, or more precisely, a tiny mini sub in a vast, expansive ocean 2.5 miles deep, with the clock tipping and 5 lives on the line. We'll have much more on the Today Show.
All right, so the missing crew does include the CEO of the company that owns the sub, Stockton Rush, retired French Navy commander and Titanic expert Paul-Henri Najoulé, and British-Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood, and his son Suleiman, who's also a college student. And Amish Harding, a billionaire adventurer who has also gone to space, holds 3 Guinness World Records. And you heard that reporter from the Today Show just talk about exactly how expansive and wide this range is. I mean, that's exactly why it's so difficult to find them, especially when you're relying on a lot of aircraft above the surface, and you can't exactly just go in and start looking around.
Well, I mean, think about it. In our lifetime, I mean, we were kids when it was found again after decades and decades, and now we're able to take a sub, in theory, down to go look at it as a tourist.
Right. It sounds tempting. I mean, you can understand what the intrigue is.
That's a harsh environment. I mean, more people have been in space than have been at that depth. So it's really unknown territory
great perspective
for the most
there.
part. So, all right,
That's
thank you,
quite
Mike.
a stat when you think about it.
I know.
Yeah. All right, 6:12 now. The search crews, by the way, are going to be aided today because it is the day with the most daylight of the year.
It is. Yeah. Summer arrives in less than 2 hours, making today the summer solstice. For more on that, what it means, resident expert, Mr. Science, Dirk Verdorn, joins us this morning. Hey, Mr. Science.
It's the time of year that I really enjoy, because that means the sun's going to start getting lower in the horizon, and now our days are going to start shrinking, and I'll get a little bit more night when I go to bed early in the evening. But here we go. This is today. Today's the day, summer solstice. It occurs at 7:57 this morning. You probably won't notice it, but we are going to see. This is when the sun is at its highest in the sky, and now it's going to start getting a little bit lower each day, a little bit lower, and the days are going to get a little bit shorter. But this is also when the Earth is the farthest from the sun. This is kind of interesting fact. Typically people think that, oh, well, it's summertime, we've got to be closer to the sun. Well, that really doesn't have any bearing on how warm we get. It's really the angle of the sun. That's the most important thing. As we are tilted toward the sun, we get those more direct rays from the sun that helps to heat things up, and also our days are longer, so we get more sunshine heating up the Earth here during this time, and we're going to continue to feel that effect as we go through the rest of summer. So we are looking at conditions that, again, are fairly clear. That means temperatures are going to be warming, right? Well, maybe not. Of course, for more details about that forecast, we'll turn it over to Tamara Berg in just a bit, but now back over to you.
All right, Dirk, thank you.